down the side. Now, I'm sorry, before we start the show, can I have my telephone? I just need to get the hair out of my mouth. Very quick phone call.
That's you. What do you think?
Go on, quick, run.
Yeah. Do you think it's me?
He's gonna go berserk.
Hello?
Hello, boys, it's Emma.
Oh, as if it actually is. Drop me out. Is it actually you?
Yeah, drop me out. It is actually me. Now, I hear that you are massive fans of the main show.
I'm sorry. You've ruined it.
Oh, how dare you? Well, listen, I'm just calling to let you know that the Carvery are doing a 2-for-1 meal deal at the moment.
This is some new level shit.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Listen, thanks, boys, and we'll speak to you soon, OK?
I can't believe I've spoken to you. You're my idol. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. Now, listen, just lower the tone and strengthen your argument, OK?
My sister's gonna be so jealous! Ah! So jealous!
I love how he clenches his butt right at the end. It was amazing. They're so sweet. Here you go. You can have the phone back. Thank you very much. Right, OK, should we get on with it and meet the panel? Yeah. Good. You're a bit delayed slow tonight, so come on, should we get on with it and meet the panel? Yes! OK, first up is one of London's hottest socialites. She is strictly VIP, she oozes class and is dripping in sophistication. Quite how we got her out here to Bournemouth High Street, I will never know. From Made in Chelsea, it's the lovely Cheska Hull. Next up, when the producers asked me if I wanted to go Greek tonight, I said, hell yes, from Big Brother 8. Please welcome Jerry! Joining them is a woman of many talents. She has topped the charts, performed in the West End, written novels and has even starred in EastEnders. Is there anything she can't do? It is the gorgeous Michelle Gale. OK, let's start things off with the show we just watched. And, thanks. And the shopping task. So the public voted Hazel as a housemate, which makes people want to switch channels, and as well as being the biggest snake. Michelle, is that fair? Do you agree?
Yeah. Sorry. No, do you know what?
I thought we might get a bit of sympathy from you.
I don't like the whole, you know, evil woman bringing a man down. I don't like that narrative, but she is really boring without someone to have a love interest with. I find her very vanilla. She's boring. I think she only defines herself by the way she looks, and because she's got no one to flirt with, she's just faded into the background. She's really boring.
So you just called her vanilla like Dexter did?
Did Dexter call her that?
Dexter called her vanilla.
Oh, my God, he's infiltrated my brain.
Quite near to the beginning. Now, the House seemed quite surprised that it was Hazel that was labelled those things by the public and not Dexter. So why do you think the public are finding it so hard to relate to Hazel? Oh, dear. Why did I have to come to you?
She's just an home wrecker. All she does is, like, dig her claws into other people's boyfriends and stuff. It's a joke.
To be fair on Hazel, we've seen her flirt outrageously with Daly. We haven't seen her wreck any other homes. And now that Daly's gone, she's kind of calmed down.
She's boring.
We haven't really seen her... Oh, God, you're going to be one that makes me run up and down the stairs.
She hasn't got no other men in the house to flirt with and stuff, so she's just boring. She's gone into her shell.
There are other men in there.
She's completely playing a game. She knows that the public don't like her now because of what happened with Daly. So now she's trying to win back votes. So what we see now isn't the real Hazel. She's completely playing a game now.
So do you not... She seemed quite confused tonight with why people were saying that she was a snake. So do you find that strange that she doesn't understand it?
Yeah, I find it strange considering Dexter's in the house because, as far as I'm concerned, Dexter is the real snake in the house.
No.
Yeah.
He's quite a brilliant snake, though, isn't he?
He's a great snake. What I do feel sorry about for Hazel is that whole issue between Daly was down to Daly. Daly was the one with the girlfriend. Daly was the one with the son. And it's an indictment of what we do with women all the time. It happened on yesterday's show. Women are always put down all the time and men get away with murder. And just quickly on this, I really felt sorry for Jackie because when Callum was going at her and her daughter was sat next to him, if that was the father sat there, there's no way Callum would have tried it on. So we always badger the women. It's not on.
That's quite nice coming from a man, I think. OK, so today the public decided that Hazel deserved another gunging first thing this morning. Stop it now. She's starting to feel a little bit picked on. Take a look at this.
Big Brother can confirm that you are the right answer.
Surprise.
All you need to do is just suck it up and not give a shit.
No, I have sucked it up. I really have today. I'm just like...
Nothing to be up to.
Friday.
Whenever I've eaten pig snout and I've gotten gunged and I've been told how boring I am, yet they pick me to do everything, so... My thing is it's a bit of a contradiction that I get voted that they want to turn the channel off, yet they've voted me to do every single thing. Yeah.
OK, Cheska, so do you think she is still being judged on the kind of pre-Safe House daily situation?
I think she is. I think that was such a shocker, everything that went on for everyone, that people obviously are still judging her on it. And I think really what I want to happen with Hazel is everyone to stop thinking about that and just look at her right now. I know that's probably rubbish because just then she was complaining and moaning and that's quite boring. But I think we need to forget about that stuff that happened and look at what's actually going on right now. I think people still have it in their heads and are holding it against her.
Do you think they're ever going to forget the flirting that happened?
Well, no, because now she's flirting with Dan. She's, like, getting into bed with Dan and cuddling up to him.
She's always done that, though, hasn't she? And that's quite platonic, I think.
Maybe if she'd been... Do you know what? Maybe she'd been thrown out. It would have been bad, but I think people would have seen it as a kind of her paying the price if they'd both gone. Yeah. But I think the fact that she stayed, even though she... I don't think she did connive to get Daly thrown out the house. No. But because she stayed, I think people are left with that impression that she did it deliberately and is some kind of snake. And I don't think she actually is. I think she just needed to have paid a higher price, then we could have forgiven her.
No, it wasn't down to her that Daly got kicked out. It was down to Daly's actions why he got kicked out. Because he overstepped the mark and he was totally wrong.
Absolutely, but because she pulled down his pants in a workplace, if a man had done that to a woman, they would have been thrown out of a workplace situation. And the only reason she has stayed is because she's a woman. And I think that people think that's not fair.
OK.
To be honest...
OK, hold on. We're meant to be talking about the show we just watched, and all we've talked about so far is Hazel, which is fine, but we need to talk about somebody else. So let's talk about Dexter and Gina. Now, Gina is not very happy that Dexter has accused her of manipulating the situation to turn housemates against him. Do you think, Michelle, she was genuinely upset?
I think she was, but as always with Gina, she never lets you get away with speaking out about her, which I love. She always corners you and sits you down and makes you have to tell her why, what for, and I love that about her.
I love that about her as well.
I love that about her, because you can't be bitter and twisted then, can you? Because you sit the person down and you talk it out, hug it out after. It's all good.
And I think, for, you know, one of the only times I've seen genuine emotion from Dexter, he seemed like quite disappointed with himself that he didn't want to piss her off, I don't think. He seemed like he really felt bad about what had happened.
There wasn't it, when they'd come out of the house, it was that tiny blip. And I think even he'd probably forgotten about it in a sense, because they're tight again. Yeah. So, Gina was never going to let him.
I think it was a genuine misunderstanding on both parts.
Yeah, definitely.
OK, so we've seen them form quite a lovely bond and a brilliant double act. Is this going to be the end of that double act?
No, it won't be, because Gina's smart and she'll make sure that she uses it against him. She doesn't hold grudges, but I think she'll remember that Dexter's done this to her.
No, I don't think so. No. I think she will forgive and forget him. Like, no way.
No, I think you could tell Gina was genuinely hurt by what Dexter did.
Yeah,
she was. So she was, but then he seemed genuinely to feel bad and guilty, I think.
I just think that's sitting as Snake and Dexter. He knows that Gina's a popular housemate. He's got on the wrong side of her now, and that's going to impact him. I think that's why.
He wasn't really sorry. He just looked sorry.
He knows he's messed up now.
He's a snake.
You lot just don't want to stop talking, do you? I love it. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. We have to move on. Join me after the break for some next-level shit, including... Did I just do that? Including the explosive finale of Dish on the side. Now, if you thought the main course was messy, then you are in for a treat with dessert. But first, another eviction approaches this Friday, and they may not know it yet, but Dan, Sam and Sophie are all up. Who goes?
You decide.
Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side. And do you know something?
No.
I'm not happy. Well, thanks for asking. Some critics have recently accused this show of being editorially light and avoiding the bigger issues in the house. Yeah, exactly. So just to set the record straight, you're absolutely wrong, because there ain't no filler here, baby, because we take this show extremely seriously, and I have got a clip that's going to prove it. Is this the one of the twins farting? No? Oh, OK. Still going to be good, though.
Dexter. Yeah, Playboy, you're a trude on. Your plate's got food on. Leave the girls around you, she gets moved on. Much improved on. Some say you're too strong. Some say you lost your mind, but it's screwed on. Dexter Co. You ain't got no flow. You call yourself a sugar baby, but that I just don't know. Always up for nomination, saved 5 times by the nation. Your ego's rising quicker than the UK's rate of inflation. In a safe house, watching like spies, weaving a web of secrets and lies. Streaking round the garden, cupping your bits. Had all the other housemates in laughing fits. Making 4 girls cry, could have got you a smack. And by the way, Dex, your dress sense is whack. I forgot to love it. Da 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 da. Those are just some things that I thought you should know about the wonderful man called Dexter Co.
That's all I can make up. I literally couldn't think of anything to write.
So I reckon that record deal is in the post, don't you? Hey, I think it's on its way. Now, here's a question for you. What do you think my body language is telling you right now? Apart from the fact I hope you can't see my knickers. Apart from that, I haven't got a clue. But luckily, I know somebody who does know what it's saying, and here to analyse every last inch of our housemates' behaviour is everybody's favourite body language expert, Dame Judy James. So firstly, can you see my knickers? No. Because it's a very short dress. OK, so let's dive right in. We're halfway through the series. And on reflection, looking back, what have you really learned about the housemates?
I'm actually fascinated because I think we've got a different type of Big Brother hero emerging just in this season. It's a bit of a psychological phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Did that work?
Yes.
Yeah, I think over the years we've suffered from what I call the curse of JBY, which is the just be yourself syndrome, where we wait to see them being themselves, or they go in and they say, I'm just being myself, as though that's the biggest value in the world.
So normally that's what we have. The whole house is like that.
Yeah,
normally.
and if they're not like it, they become like it. Otherwise, they get rejected very quickly. I think what we've got this time are people who are patently so much not being themselves and appear to be able to sustain that for many weeks. And I'm absolutely fascinated. They should be imploding, but they're keeping this whole persona. In some cases, they're keeping several personas up, but we're not seeing the real them. And yet they're the heroes for me. I'm enjoying watching them. So fake is good this year.
So secrets and lies. So which housemates are genuine JBYs? JBYs?
The genuine just be yourselves. I mean,
yes.
We've got Sam and Sophie. And
That's it.
I'm not being funny. It's a bit like watching hamsters hibernate, isn't it? Really. I mean, I was watching Sophie. She's just biting her nails now, and it's driving me mad. And you have to say this. They're lovely people. I mean, you have to. But
absolutely,
they're just
lovely
not.
People.
They're in there with people that they're a little bit like they're in the middle of the stage at the Old Vic. Everybody's acting and doing drama, and they're just sitting there being themselves, and
so
it's just not working.
This year, only 2 people just being themselves,
I think
which means
so.
we have a house full of actors.
Yeah, and but I love it.
Who are the biggest actors?
You know, roll out Callum and Dexter.
Hold on,
I mean,
before everybody gets on their high horse, they're not genuine actors. I'm using that in a, you know, they're all playing up to something.
Don't do air quotes like Dexter.
Don't do air quotes.
Yeah, they have gone in with these personas. I mean, in Dexter's case, I think he's aware that he's doing it. He seems to be savant. I think he thought to himself, I will be this character and that character and I'll stir it up. I think with Callum, we're not sure. I'm not sure if there is anything inside that is real. But he's like a shapeshifter. I mean, it's a different Callum for every circumstance, isn't it? And yet they're just great to watch.
So is this why there's so much conflict between them then? Because they are the 2 biggest...
Yeah.
Who are they?
Yeah.
What are they?
I mean, they're like 2 old hammy actors that are both going for the same role, and I don't think they expected to see somebody else in there that was going to be another hammy actor. It's just like stop them in their tracks. And I think they're going to, you know, have the fight to the death in a way before one of them reveals what they're really like or doesn't. And I think they probably won't.
OK, well, you've chosen a clip of the 2 of them together during
love this.
Callum's
I just love it.
task. Let's have a look.
I'm all ears. So, when you're ready.
What would you like to ask?
Have you got any concerns, any problems in the house currently?
Give me a second, I'm just enjoying the biscuit.
Not a problem at all.
These are really nice.
They are.
I think it's a bit of a waste of time.
That's a strong and positive way to deal with things. Very healthy.
It's very healthy. What did you take from the clip when you saw it?
This was powered by Biscuit, and I mean, when Dexter arrived, he was the underdog a bit because you'd got Callum. It was his office, you know, and he was the one that instigated the handshake. But once Dexter sat down, he then kept Callum waiting, didn't he? Callum's like sitting there, almost chewing off his own elbow with frustration in your own time. And boy, was he going to do it. He was going to have his biscuits. He was going to have 2 of them. He was going to lay back and eat them. Did you see the way he was eating them as well? I mean, it was like a salamander devouring something. He kind of laid back. I mean, I don't know how you eat biscuits, but his mouth was fully open, his tongue flicked out. And
well, I don't eat them like that. I just dip them in my tea and shove them in whole.
And what he was doing was he was asserting his power. I've seen that happen in boardrooms before now, where they will people have to wait to hear what they're going to say. They will eat their biscuit or they will drink their coffee. And
to keep you on the edge,
power
waiting.
Posturing. Yeah.
So who's winning the battle so far between them?
Dexter by a mile. At the moment, I mean, yeah, completely. He's smart. That guy is smart. He's not smart all the time, but watching him like that, really, that's a smart brain. They're like 2 poker players, you know, they're working around one another, but my money would be on Dexter with that kind of scenario. OK, now you've chosen another moment after Callum has spoken to Sam. Now, this is Callum. So what can you tell us about this? This was really strange. Once Sam had gone out, Callum did the "I'm very upset," and I don't know if... I mean, do men do that, fanning their eyes? I mean, it was a little bit over the top. So we knew he wanted to cry. Do they do it? No. But then there's this kind of long clip. Just watch his face. It's all over the place. I mean, really. Now, for me...
It's so weird seeing that without sound, because you notice it so much more.
You want to slow-mo it as well, it's really scary. But for me, he's under so much pressure with Dexter, and Dexter won that round so much. And I know he was upset from Sam, but then afterwards, I think that, for me, is all the... that was almost his only real moment, and it's quite scary, I think.
So that was all genuine?
I think that last moment where he thought the cameras had gone off him and he was alone, I think that was him really showing the pressure he's under with this big performance that he's putting on.
And are there any other Callum moments that you picked up on?
There is the massage. I mean, really, if Charlie or anybody who is massaging, it's like, look behind you in the panto. If you happen to look up at his face, he's either going into this kind of... He's getting more out of that massage than they are. I mean, you know, he'll be giving the massage and then you look up, his chin goes up, his eyes are closed, he does some really strange face, and they're innocently laying there thinking, good old Callum. I mean, this is almost too intimate to watch. Sorry?
What does the jaw clench
mean? The jaw clench, that's when... I mean, this is him really feeling it. I just feel as though... Don't you feel as though he's kind of taking something out of their brains when he's doing that?
Do you know what? When he does
them.
The head massage, sometimes it's almost like he's Dr. Evil and he's drawing all of their thoughts out of their head and trying to...
And there was a moment when he really almost shudders. You know, that's got it. Thank you, Charlie. I've got some of your brain cells.
Judy, thank you so much. Judy James, everybody. That sound can only mean one thing. Yes, it's car crash TV time. Now, last night saw emotions running extremely high between the former housemates, but I'm pleased to report that they have kissed and made up. No way have they. It's time to serve up dessert.
Welcome back to our final instalment of Dish on the Side. Now it's time for dessert. A quick note to Sally, Jemima and Jackie, just don't mention the Dan word.
I love Dan. He's a great guy. He's genuine.
Dan the man.
No, Dan the man. I've always called him Dan the man. Nothing else to say about Dan. I love him.
Oops.
I like Dan. I think Dan's lovely. And me and him were on it about the actors.
Uh-oh.
I was on it about the fucking hot
yeah, well,
tub.
he thought I was an actor.
No,
where's my BAFTA? Still waiting for it.
No,
you know?
but babe, Dan's lovely. I'm gonna disagree to disagree on that
Love
one.
him, love him, love him.
Yeah, I like Dan.
Oh, shit.
Obviously, you're all going to think that. You were never in the same situation that I was. A lot of people in that house think the sun shines out his fucking ass, and the way that he interrogated me, he broke me, you know? And I think it was that whole, you know, people saw that I couldn't be as strong as I thought I could be, and...
Don't get upset, don't get upset, don't get upset, don't get upset. Don't get upset. Wolfie, Wolfie, Wolfie.
Babe.
Just need some tissue.
Don't stress out about Dan.
You just go and get me some tissue, please. I can't believe I'm still getting fucking upset about it.
I didn't know he affected you so much again.
He really did, Sally, that's what I mean. And you know what was the most annoying thing about it is because when you left, he knew I didn't have that fucking person to stick up with me because he knew that I was the outsider and stuff, so he just fucking went for it and it really fucked me off. And everybody thinks the sun fucking shines out his ass, but you know what? No one was in that fucking situation that I was.
Well,
no
say this
one.
on there, babe. Don't...
I can't because it just winds me up, Sal. Do you know what I mean? It just fucking winds me up. And then I fucking think like this and that, and then the only thing I've got to do is fucking just go off at a tangent about it.
I think he'd be really upset to think that she was this upset, and I know he would. He'd be heartbroken to think that you think like this.
Well, you know what? I thought I was fucking stronger than I was
I know,
as well.
But he
you know
would
what
never
I mean?
do this to hurt you, honestly. And
yeah,
you
well,
tell...
maybe it's part of his fucking game plan. We
No,
just don't know. You don't know him. You've known him a week. You've known him
babe,
5
I knew you a
weeks.
week, and I fucking love you.
Game plan. Listen, we all thought we'd be stronger than we were.
Can we change the fucking topic, please? Please,
It's all affected us in different ways. And I honestly think he would be upset by the fact that he would see you like this.
You guys don't know. You guys have got no fucking clue because as far as everybody else in that house is concerned, the sun shines out his fucking asshole.
No, I
but you know
understand
what?
it doesn't shine out of his ass, but
No,
I do think he has got good intentions.
Nah.
He obviously is just too inquisitive. That's the problem, and he's obviously made you feel like shit.
He doesn't mean it. Dan is just a nice guy. Let's have Dan for dessert.
Do I have a fucking Hazel for dessert? Thank you.
I'd love to do it all again, 100%.
Would you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh.
I might do things differently, but I
we've
would
been there, done that. Would you really want to go back?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah, any day of the week. Any day of the week.
I would go back. Would you go back?
I would have had a week, so I would definitely go back. I think if the public did a re-vote, then I'd most probably get the votes to go back. And
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
I'm going to drink my shot of tequila because...
Bottoms up.
To be fair, I never want to have dinner with you ever again, not you.
See you on Tuesday.
So, there we have it. A fascinating insight into the series so far. Until next time, good night.
Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side, the spin-off show that's just like Callum's thong. Small, slightly offensive, and struggling to cover the bum fluff produced by the main show. That was a good one, wasn't it? I like that. Right, OK, now on last night's show, we discussed all the drama surrounding Big Brother's remaining female housemates. And seeing as we are all about sexual equality on this show, I think it's only fair that we dedicate some of our time to the boys. Let's have a look at them.
I came in here and I told a grown woman what I thought of her. Who's the most laddish housemate?
What? I'm dragging your whole body along. My cock is about to burst.
Dex, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of here?
Probably cry.
Oh, I'm not going to cry. It's all right to cry. 1, 2, 3. Teapot.
Testosterone. Michelle, why do you think the boys are so popular?
Do you know what? I think that the boys, they're very individual. They haven't clubbed together. You know, usually there's like a little clique and they're all being laddie. They're quite girly boys, aren't they? They mix with the girls very much and they're like little companions, like you can hang out with them. So I think that's why they're not strong males.
Metrosexual?
They're very metrosexual.
Jerry, what are they bringing to the table?
Well, the fact is, most of the audience of Big Brother is women, so you do need some male flesh.
Now we know where your head's at.
I know. No, I have my favourites as well. But, you know, you have some really strong characters, you know, Dan, and if I was in the house, I would probably spend more time with all of them, you know, Dan. Well, no, actually with some, because I don't think anybody makes enough effort to, you know, to sit down and talk to some. Yeah.
Totally. I felt so sorry for him last night.
And they're loud and they talk on top of each other, so he cannot participate in the conversation. But I would probably spend more time with the boys. Yeah.
Okay. So despite clearly being the more popular sex in the house, the boys have never really kind of got along with each other en masse. That, you know, they're in pairs, kind of. So why do you think, Cheska, we haven't seen them bond as like a big laddie group?
I think because the girls are a strong group, like really strong. There are so many women in the house that are kind of like crazy and stand out this time more. There doesn't seem to be a leader in the boys. It seems to be more the women. Like if you think, like even Jackie, and then we've got Gina, Hazel, even when Sally was in there, they're very strong people. And so the guys seem to follow the women almost. Like Dexter and Callum want Charlie, you know, obviously that's a love thing, but they're constantly hanging out with her and they're all kind of going with different girls. They're not kind of clubbing together.
OK, what do you lot think of the boys? Oh, my goodness. Did you just stick your tongue out and go...
Well, look at Callum. That made me feel a bit sick.
Now, hold on. Don't talk about it too much, because we're getting to that in a little while. We are getting to that. What do you think of the boys, though, as a whole?
Okay. I don't know. They're a bit like... A bit...
Bit girly.
Yeah, they're
bit girly, yeah.
Like we just heard from the panel.
Exactly.
OK, let's ask a boy. What do the boys think of the boys in the house?
I think it's
OK,
lovely.
we'll go to a man instead, actually, not a boy.
I think it's lovely because you hit the nail on the head. They are metrosexual, and I think that it's so beautiful to see that they're in touch with their emotions.
Yep.
They're not over-aggressive, with the exception of Callum, because I thought he was verbally aggressive to Jackie. I have to say that. Very uncomfortable viewing. But they are individuals, and Judy said it last week. These guys have grown up with Big Brother, so they know what they
Big Brother generation,
exactly,
aren't they? Yeah.
And they've developed. And I think it's beautiful that men can actually behave in that way. And they don't need to be kind of these wolf packs. They can just be individual men who can mix with women and mix with men. And you know, and
the wolf pack was boring, wasn't it? Anyway,
exactly.
It's quite nice that they're all mixing, and I know there's no big groups of men, but it's nice that there are groups of, you know, a mixing of six. What's the word I'm looking for? The mixing of the sexes. OK, so like Gina, Dexter has managed to survive 3 out of 3 evictions. Go, Dexter. Jerry, can he win it?
No, there's more chances that hell is going to freeze over than... You know what? I like him.
Let Jerry speak.
I was a big fan of Dexter, and I used to tweet about him when he was an underdog. But since he came out of the safe house, he's been a bitch, and he's one of the bitchiest housemates at the moment. And what he does, he loads the gun and lets somebody else pull the trigger, and then he sits there and sniggers, and that's why I don't like him anymore. And also, he's got a girlfriend on the outside, and he's flirting with her.
Yeah, I don't think any of us buy the fact that
Does he exist? Have you met the girl?
Charlie.
She has been here?
Yeah, we've met her. She thinks
so
it's
she's
hilarious.
not a blow-up doll
She
or...
knows she knows what is going on. Dexter's a character, and I think he's brilliant for that.
Yeah.
OK, so the twins' individuality has been, I think, more noticeable over the past week or so. Cheska, would you like to see them as individual housemates, or are you quite happy with them as one?
I think it would be really interesting to see them as individual, but I can't tell the difference. So they'd have to have big T-shirts with their names on, because I wouldn't know otherwise. But
Jack's
I think...
got a piece shaved out of his head.
Oh, my God, really?
Yes! It's totally covered, though. He covers it up every day.
I didn't notice that, but I think... we were saying earlier, all the twins in the house, like Sam and... Wait, Sam and Amanda? Sam and Amanda. Were always in together, so I think it would be really interesting to have twins in there that were separate.
My twins are much better, sorry.
That would
be good.
It would be really hard, though, on the twins, wouldn't it? Because you'd be like, oh, my God,
it would be really difficult.
Are they the more popular one? What's going on?
Yeah, but I think, you know, Big Brother's all about, it's an experiment, and it's, you know, I think that's why a lot of people watch it. I think that alone is something interesting, so...
I'm glad that you've said that, because I still watch it for that reason as well. Right, thanks, everybody. That was wonderful. We didn't get through half the questions, but never mind. Right, remember, if you've got something that you'd like to say, or you fancy joining me in the studio with this rather mouthy lot, then all the details you need Wow, that was really good. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I just crave a big, fat, juicy exclusive.
If nominations were chilies, how many chilies would you have received in total?
I'm going to say 4.
So go with that.
4.
Whatever your gut says, do it.
Dan, for £100, you should eat the answer.
Do it as fast as you can, because the slower you do it...
I've actually done this with my brother.
Well done, boys. Well done, boys. Well done. Don't have to think about it. Don't have to think about it.
Oh.
No, go on.
Shit.
Right.
Drink the milk.
It's really hot.
Drink the milk.
I feel like I'm going to breathe fire!
It's going to get worse and worse.
Oh my God, someone help me, please.
OK, so we are back in the phone room, and I'm glad to report that despite the hot weather, the bit on the side production team are still soldiering on. They never let me down. They're really, really good. Come on, pull your shit together. Need some phone callers. Who's on line 1?
Dave from Liverpool.
Dave from Liverpool, are you there?
Hi, Emma.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you, girl?
I'm really good, boy, thank
Good.
you.
Oh, sorry.
What do you want to talk about? No, it's fine.
Well, it's fantastic, the twist this week.
Oh, do you like it?
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. I just hope Big Brother let those people know a couple of days before, because I want to see the faces, particularly Dan. You know, desperate Dan. He was Dan the man until he was nominated a few weeks ago, and then for 3 days, he just lost it.
Really?
And I'd like to see I'd like to see the faces just before.
Do you not think he's been quite consistent?
He's been quite consistent talking about everybody in his little group and backbiting and bitching and all the rest of it. But, you know, I mean, he's held a grudge against Callum since Callum nominated him. All Callum said was, we just don't get on. He didn't call him or criticise him. And since then, if you know, Callum has never voted for him again, but Dan's voted every single time for Callum. So, you know, and if you don't mind, Callum gets a bad deal. I'd like to put a good word in for Callum.
Yes, go on, you go for it.
As far as I'm concerned, you know, what's wrong with being nice? All this
Nothing.
too nice and too nice. And the main thing for me, Emma, was last night, Dr. Callum. And Callum, for me, is the only one in that house who's really got to know and tried to get to know Sam.
Yeah, that's true,
actually. And for him to turn around last night...
I agree with you there.
And for him to say to Sam, how do you feel about your experience in the house? And it was very moving to hear Sam say, well, I'm loving it, but sometimes when all the conversations are going on, he said, it seems to, I can't keep up with it, and I seem to sit back and wait till it quietens down.
Yeah.
And I think that was moving. And
It was, absolutely.
And I think Sam realises that in the house, it is Callum that has tried to get to know him, and everybody should be proud of Sam because he's a good lad, and I hope they both stay in and stay until the end and the relationship grows. I think
Dave,
it was lovely.
Dave, thank you so much, but you've taken up all the time for our callers, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anna.
No, it's fine, because you had a really lovely thing to say about Sam, and I think it's rightly said as well. So thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
Do we have time for another caller? One more, we have time for one more.
Simon from West London.
Simon from West London, are you there?
Hello, Emma.
Hello, Simon.
I just want to say it was a masterstroke by Big Brother to deposit Sophie and Sam in the safe house.
Why?
Because putting them up for eviction because their housemates were unlikely to do so. Because both of them are non-confrontational, they're passive, they're prosaic, under the radar. Sophie, she's kind, she's straightforward, she's helpful, but she's dull.
She seems genuinely nice.
Sorry?
There's nothing wrong with genuinely nice.
No, of course not. But I'm thinking about the viewers. Sam is considerate, he's sensitive, he's self-effacing. If I wanted to adopt somebody from the house, I'd adopt him. But ultimately, he's a bore. Big Brother's supposed to be primarily concerned with entertainment. And this couple...
And I think that's what we have had. But do we want somebody who's entertaining to win, or do you want somebody who's nice to win?
Somebody's entertaining. Can I just say,
yes.
I want to say, I thought the psychiatrist's couch feature was excellent. Callum was absolutely superb. I agree with your previous caller. Dexter was very rude. Now, Now, if Dexter were to visit a real psychiatrist in the real world, he's got so many personalities, I'm sure he'd be offered a group discount.
Simon, thank you so much. You sound wonderful. You should come into the audience. You'd be great. Thank you very much. Thank you to both of my callers, and apologies for the state of them, and apologies for not getting to more people, but those two, they like to talk. Right, OK, stay tuned for tons more exclusive. Plus, Michelle is going to be in the camera runs with all the latest gossip. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side, the spin-off show with more passion, conviction and intensity than Charlie, Dexter and Callum's love triangle. I know that's not much to brag about, but it is a starting point, and unlike those prudes, at least we will put out. Here's today's news. At 1:03 this afternoon, Sophie told Big Brother how she got more than she bargained for in the safe house this morning.
Are you enjoying having Dan in the safe house?
Oh yeah, it's so funny. This morning he had a shower, right? And he thought the frosted glass was completely frosted, like, I'm not being funny with you, you can see through frosted glass. And he took his pants off, and then I'm doing my makeup, not being funny with you, doing my eyeliner. I look up, and I need to take my eye out with my eyeliner, because Dan's Chad's out. I looked, I was like, oh my God, can you imagine if he turned round? And then I said, Dan, you can see your bum. But at first I said to Sam, oh my God, look, Sam. And then Sam went, I know, and I was like, why didn't you tell him? And then I said, Dan, we can see your Chad. And he was like, no, you're joking. And I was like, yeah, we can see your bum. And then he quickly put his pants on and he was really embarrassed.
Yeah, right. Like Dan didn't know you could see through the glass. If his chest wasn't going to get him into the final, then his little tushy surely will. Tushy? Dan, touche? It doesn't work. Anyway, at 3:46 this afternoon, Dan pondered this Friday's eviction.
What do you think will happen on Friday?
Well, the last couple of weeks we've been expecting a double eviction, but it hasn't happened. So I'm kind of thinking it will be another single eviction. But by putting the whole house up this week, in the sense of the 6 that aren't immune, then I suppose a double eviction could work this week. So I expect Hazel to go. And if it was to be a double, I'd expect one from Dexter, Callum and Charlie to go. There's even a little bit of me that thinks maybe we're not that safe in that safe house, which unnerves me a bit, but I'm not going to dwell on that too much. I have to trust that I'm immune. But it's crossed my mind that might be a lie, that we're all immune in there. I don't know.
Maybe you should dwell on it, Detective Dan. And finally, at 4:55 this afternoon, Big Brother told Dexter that the public wanted him to seduce one of his fellow housemates. Wonder who he'll pick.
You're going to have to go, Callum, unfortunately.
Huh? Oh. Sorry, Cal.
The thing that I like about me and you is that we'll disagree on things, okay? And it's because we're not perfect, but we understand each other, and that's why we can disagree on things, because we're never going to fully connect on everything.
No, definitely not.
We've both got our own opinions, but that's the beauty of it, because we are so different. It brings us together. It's true. It's true.
Is it true, or is it part of the task?
No, it's true. It's not part of the task.
Just when you thought the showmance was over, Dexter puts himself back in the game. Charlie is one lucky lady. That was today's news. So yet another big twist in store this Friday when Big Brother reveals the safe house is not so damn safe after all. Dan, Sam and Sophie are all on the chopping block. Who goes? You decide. This week, Dan, Sam and Sophie all face the public vote. Who goes? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 50 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to evict. From a mobile, call 650 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to evict. For Dan, add 04. For Sam, add 12. For Sophie, add 13. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 35p. Other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. And for full terms, go to channel5.com/BBVote. OK. What's happening right now in the Camerons?
Well, Emma, I can report that they're tidying up, pouring some tea, but there's been a lot happening today in the house.
What's been happening?
Well, Gina said Dexter would be better if he were gay, because she told him they'd probably have more in common, which she is a very camp woman, so, I mean, I think Dexter's quite femme anyway, don't you?
Totally. He's so metrosexual.
He is. He's Mr. Metrosexual. Hazel, you've just missed her. She's gone into the bedroom, but she's still upset about being labelled a snake.
Yeah,
and
that's going to play on your mind, isn't it?
And she's
Especially
worried
if you
for
know
her
it's the
parents.
public.
Yeah, she's worried for her parents and, you know, how they react to her getting booed. So she's it's really starting to play on her mind now.
Yeah.
I suppose it's coming towards the end, isn't it? So
Yeah.
just realising she's going to have to come out into the real world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she may be hated. That's not a nice thought.
No, that's not a nice thought for anyone.
No, I'll tell you what else has happened. Charlie asked Gina what her ideal job would be, and Gina said, definitely a Hollywood actress.
Do you think she could cut it, Michelle?
Well, I think she's been acting a lot in the house, if I'm honest, so...
Has she got good skills?
I'm not sure about Hollywood, but maybe Bollywood.
Who do you think's the best actress in there? Or actor, in
Dexter
fact?
is by far... I've lost you, but Dexter is by far the best game player for me. I just think he's totally playing the game, and he comes up trumps every single time. He's always winning, so...
OK, can you hear me, Michelle? Can you hear me? She can't hear us. OK, we're going to say bye to Michelle, and we're going to hope that Ian's head stays on. But I think you're about to get floppy on me again, Ian.
That's the problem with a big snake.
Big snakes are hard to control. Apparently. Right, what's happening?
Well, I'm dressed as a snake, obviously.
Yeah.
We want questions.
Why are you dressed as a snake? Symes.
I was probably voted worst person on BBBOTS by Digital Spy Forum, so they made me dress as a snake.
No, you weren't, Ian.
Anyway, we want questions. Normally we ask for questions for the nominees, but secrets and lies. Take me seriously, Emma. What's wrong with you?
I can't, because you're so upright. I want to push you and see if you fall over again.
Well, please don't. Yeah, we want the questions for the housemates that aren't nominated but think they're nominated. So that's Charlie, Dexter, Gina, Jack and Joe, Callum and Hazel. And use the hashtag #AskTheHMs. HMs.
So you want questions for the people that aren't up for eviction?
But who think they're up for eviction.
But who think they're up for eviction.
So that we can keep up the secrets and lies.
But that's not some kind of weird twist because they actually are, though, is it?
No, we're just keeping up the pretense. So the housemates expect that whoever's nominated gets asked questions from a bit on the side. So that's why we're doing it, secrets and lies.
OK, what's the hashtag again?
Ask the HMs.
Hashtag ask the HMs. Right, what else is happening? Your tongue's a bit floppy tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, but maybe later. We've got an exclusive on the website right now of the result for this week's shopping task. Go online, channel5.com/bigbrother to find out what that is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lean week for the housemates, that's all I'm saying.
A lean week?
Yeah.
OK.
We've also got Ryland's ridiculous replay. Ryland being my favourite bit on the soap presenter, who never laughs at me when I'm trying to do a serious piece to camera.
I'm going to take you out in a minute.
Oh, yeah?
Your head's flopping again.
It is. What's the matter with you?
Can I just...
No.
Favourite gladiator, Diane Newdust, going to be here. Good night.